Hello BookTube, and today I'm here with my anti-Valentine's Day reads. I've already done a video on Valentine's reads for the lovers out there, but this one is for not the haters, but those of you who aren't really into the whole romantic Valentine's Day thing. The first book I don't actually have a physical copy of is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. This is a dark, fabulous tale, and the reason it's on the anti-Valentine's Day list is because I read it on my wedding night to my first husband. Hence the first husband. It should have been an omen that I would rather have spent the night with Vampire Lestat than with him. It's a great read. It's got a little bit of homoeroticism in it. But it will, you know, take your mind away from all of the sappy romance stuff and takes me back to an anti-romantic time in my life. Where we had Jane Austen as a fantastic recommendation for the romantic side of Valentine's Day, we turn to the Brontes for the anti-romantic, and the all-time fabulous Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I just love it. I just love Emily Bronte's work. I love Heathcliff and Cathy. Some people I know don't get along with it because the characters in it are all pretty vile. There's not a lot going for them, but I love them, and it's a story of doomed love. It's a story of sacrifice. It's a story of superficiality. It's a story of shallowness and bitterness and hatred, and yeah, and it's just great, and it's got the dark brooding moors. In addition to Emily, we turn to her sister Anne Bronte, and this is a Tenant of Wildfell Hall. This sort of has a happy-ish ending, but it's sort of a tale of be careful who you marry, really, because the guy that she marries, the first husband, as often they are, turned out to be a bit of a shit. So yeah, it's a great one. It's got lovely feminist undertones in it. It's dark and brooding again, as all the Brontes are, but you know, it's a cautionary tale of be careful who you marry. The next one is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is a dystopian one, and there couldn't be anything less romantic about the way they have babies in this one, where women are divided into the particular roles, whether they are wives or whether they are, I can't remember what they're called. They're called the handmaids, dozy mare, who are the ones who actually have the children. Dystopian, fabulous, nothing remotely romantic in here. And one that's a sort of like a modern take on that is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. This is absolutely brilliant, and this is again where women in society are bred only for men, and they go to a school to learn to take on the role of a consort, a concubine, or a, what's the other one, or a chastity. The companion is the wife, who will bear sons. The concubine is exactly what it says, and the chastity teaches girls how to live their life in order to satisfy a man and just to be there for a man. So yeah, very anti-Valentine's, but a fantastic read. All of these books I'm recommending are brilliant reads, so you can even just bury your head in them and just get lost in the whole fantastic novel and drift away from the whole sappy, soppy romance that's going on around you, because you'll have your head in a fantastic read that you won't want to put down. The next one, it is a big stonking book, but is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber. And this is the story of Sugar the prostitute, and this is a woman making it on her own. There are certainly men in it, but it's all about how really she makes it without a man in the end, and that you don't need a man to get what you want in life, but you can certainly make use of them, particularly in the Victorian era, as Sugar did, because she only had one way of making her way in the world. It is a big, thick stonker of a book, but it feels like it's like a fraction of the length. You don't want to put it down. Again, it will absorb you and take you away from anything that's going on around you. You will love it, and I will always love Sugar. She's one of my favourite characters of all time, and it's still got the lovely, fabulous undertones of the Mad Woman upstairs as well. The next one is Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. This is an examination of a marriage that on the surface looks very contemporary, very proper, but once you start digging, it's rotten at the core. Yeah, really good. So definitely an anti-Valentine's Day read. Absolutely 5-star read. Brilliant, brilliant book. An amazing read. Again, something that will take you away and you will lose yourself in. So yeah, brilliant. And it's a lovely red spine vintage edition. The next Valentine's bit of a thriller is Into the Darkest Corner by Elizabeth Haynes. This is a fantastic book. It's all about how romance suddenly can turn from love to hate, but in a possessive kind of controlling kind of way. There's an element of stalking in there, there is domestic violence in there. It's subtle, it's scary, it's absolutely brilliant. It's a fantastic page turner, and it does explore the themes of how the strength of a man can often be something that a woman is always at a disadvantage against, and how little things can control, and how that has an impact on how you feel about yourself, how you live your life, how you can become obsessed about tiny details because it's the only thing you've got control over. It's absolutely fantastic read. Thoroughly recommend this one. And the final one is The Taming of the Queen by Philippa Gregory. Philippa Gregory writes fantastic historical fiction, and this is one of the books that she's written set in the Tudor period, and this is all about the life of Catherine Parr. And basically, if you read it, it says, why would a woman marry a serial killer? Because she can't refuse. And it takes you into the world of Catherine Parr, where she had no choice. She had to marry Henry VIII. And it was all about how she lived on a knife edge every single day. She could have been turfed out at any minute. She'd had a history of 2 wives before her who'd been beheaded. And it really gets across the tension of how a woman in that kind of position was seen as, by the outsiders, of great privilege and great power, but actually living within that life was just full of tension and anxiety, and really not the privilege at all. You know, you were constantly on eggshells, and so it's a great read. Really recommend it, and it's about probably one of the lesser known of Henry VIII's wives. You know, we probably hear more about the other ones, but Catherine Parr turns out to be an actually great character, really forward-thinking, really clever woman. So those are my anti-Valentine's Day reads. Whether you're celebrating Valentine's or just can't be bothered with it, any of these books will be great reads to get stuck into. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye!